Hi guys, it's me Dana here, and today's topic would be 8 things that, well, a book lover or reader, or whichever way you prefer, should or at least maybe could own or have. Alright, so we all know that if you are chosen the path of a book reader in this lifetime, there are a few things that are pretty much essential. And if not so, at least something that, the whole concept wouldn't be so great without. So you might need one, you might need all of them for yourself to feel good or to have a great vibe while you're reading. But here is the list of 8 things that I figured, I don't know, that came to my mind, and I'm about to share this list with you. Right, so the first one is going to be Goodreads. I think there is no chance of you not having heard of it if you are into this reading world, but in case you haven't, Goodreads is a website where you can find annotations, reviews of books, and one of my all-time favorite options there, you can track your reading life. You can track your reading progress on your current reads, you can add your own ratings, you can post your own reviews, you can make shelves and sort books whichever way you wish. You can vote for those books on polls or whatever, and you can even make a reading challenge for the year for yourself. You can get information on the book, such as how many pages does it have, or for example, is it a part of a series or something like that. And also, if you are indecisive about what to read next, they will give you, the site will give you recommendations based on your read shelf, if I'm not mistaken. That's the shelf that they choose from. And yeah, they will give you book recommendations. And another really great thing is that ever since I joined this place, they didn't have it back then, but now they do, and that will be an app for your phone for the application. So it's also, it has made things easier as well, and overall I'm just loving that place. So the second thing on the list would be bookmarks. Alright, I don't have my best bookmarks here with me, but these are the two that were available for me right now without taking them out from any books or whatever. And yeah, these are like some of the ones that I've gotten from Book Depository, but I just think it is important to have more than just one bookmark for, well, obvious reasons. You might be reading more than one book at a time. You might break your bookmark in case it's if it's a wooden one, for example. You can you can lose your bookmark between your sheets, which might have happened to me for a while. And the best thing is that there are so many cute designs and they don't take up pretty much any space at all, so get them bookmarks. Alright, so we have come to our third thing on our list, and that will be a book jar. I know that mine says mini marshmallows on it, but never mind that. So there are people who don't care about these, and there are people who are depending on them. But either way, if you are wondering what to read next from your big to be read pile, a book jar is a really great idea. So you just get yourself a container, either it's a book jar or a container like this, or whichever little box, whatever works for you. Put in a piece of paper with the names of your books or numbers, again, whichever way works best for you, and then you know what? It's done. You're good to go. The next thing though is something that I'm a big fan of, and let me go get it. So this might sound as a surprise for some people, most likely non-readers, but reading is not a 5-minute task. Usually it takes from 15 minutes to hours and hours. And how exactly are we supposed to survive that without snacks and beverage? So I think that we should all get ourselves reading accessories, such as book-related food trays or mugs. Don't have a tray, and even though I am drinking currently from, what kind of bookish mug actually. It's from Winnie the Pooh. But my favorite one would be the one that I got with my boyfriend on a really fun shopping day, either way. And that would be Harry Potter mug. I'm not sure if you can see it. You might be able to. Looks like that. And I am freaking in love with this. Everyone knows that you do not touch this mug. If you do, make sure you never ever ever break it or ruin it in any way whatsoever, because I am going to be mad AF. So, I think it's pretty crucial to prepare your reading session with some good snacks and some hot or cold or whatever kind of beverage that you would like to drink while you're reading, because it not only gives you a great vibe, but also in a way motivates you more. It like sets you and makes you more focused on the thing that you're doing, therefore reading. It just makes you more excited, like But now I'm returning to the topic of jars, and the next thing on my list would be money jar. So I actually destroyed my money jar for books, but and I'm just taking it as for an example, this casual jar where I put like change I got to remember to spend it, or whenever like to take it with me to work for vending machines or whatever. But I think this idea is especially great for people like me who aren't buying books. I can't speak today anymore. Never mind me. Alright, so what I was about to say is that this idea is really great for people who aren't buying books on a regular basis, like every day or every week even. Just put a little money inside whenever you remember. Most likely you are going to forget about it. You aren't really gonna miss it from your daily budget, But when the time comes for you to go and visit that bookstore, you're gonna have saved up money for it. And it's just a really wonderful feeling. Personally, I used to do this with my book buying ban. Since my book buying ban is like you have to read 5 books to purchase 1 book, and for every book that I read, I put in the jar 2 euros, and by the time I'm able to buy another book, I should have saved up already 10 euros, which is enough to buy another book. If the book costs more, then I either don't buy it and choose a cheaper one, or for example take some out of my like daily money, if I can say like that. At the same time, it just seems cheaper because I have that extra money saved up. Or if the book is actually cheaper than those, for example, mentioned 10 euros, I have leftovers that that stays in the jar. So the next time I'm able to buy another book, I already have that money plus those extra 10 euros, and I will be able to buy an more expensive book, for example, hardcovers or whatever. And I don't know. I just think it's a really great idea. We have already managed to get to our 6th thing on the list, and that would be, don't laugh at this, but shelves, or at least place for books. So this part of the video might seem a little bit pointless and like, what is she talking about? We read books, we have books, we have place to put them, we have floor, we have shelves, whatever. But I mean proper ones, the ones that are made just for your books. I know I did that, never mind that. I guess I'm just like really passionate about this topic. It's just that so many times I've seen books and shelves mixed with other things. I mean, I'm not talking about those, I don't know, like those bobbleheads or whatever, bookmarks or whatever, or even book jars in front of them. Oh, I'm not talking about that. Like mixed with journals. Okay, journals are okay, fair enough. Mixed with mugs, mixed with other things, stuffed animals, whatsoever. Or even books placed all around the room. Like for example, some are laying on the, what is the name for it? Pardon, all of a sudden I forgot the name for it, but next to your window, not the window, but never mind, I hope you're gonna get that. And or maybe some are next to your bed, some are on your counter, some are on your nightstand, some on your real shelf, some are on the coffee table, wherever. And that does not really work with me. I am a strong believer of the statement that your books are like your babies, are like your precious things, and you must have a place for them. It's like you having a baby. It's a really weird metaphor, but still, if you're having a baby, you're gonna have a crib for it, right? You're gonna have a bed for them, you're gonna have a place for them, right? They're gonna just sleep on the floor next to your bed or something. And same goes to books, I think. And even if you don't own that much books, you can still like create those flying bookshelves or just standard bookshelves, like just one shelf to the wall or something, or on top of something, just like, even if not shelves, just a specific place where your books are lined up, and just, just sit there happily knowing that it's their place. Because I really do think that they do deserve a special place. They're important, and most importantly, what I always believed and what my mom agreed on, and that means something if my mom agrees on it, it's a fact. There's no doubt in it that books are worth. They are priceless. No matter how much you spent on them, either it's $1 or $50, they are priceless, and they can go on from generations and whatsoever, and either way you enjoy them or not, like, they are special, okay? And they just deserve to have a good place to stay at, to be, maybe not on display if you don't wish them to be there, but like, have a proper place for them. That's all I'm saying. All right, so now we're on to the 7th point of the list, and I have nothing to show to you because I already used mine up. But that will be, I believe most of you already expected this, a candle. So yeah, setting up your reading space for the night is a really important task. At least it is for me, especially when I'm home alone. I just need to like get everything right. I need it all to be like that cozy vibe, that is the special vibe in the air, the atmosphere, the everything. And I just think that like setting your place for a reading session without a candle, for me, it will feel a bit unaccomplished. I mean, especially if it's nighttime. If it's during the day, okay, whatever. But if it's nighttime, I think you just must have a little bit of that, that cozy light that gives you that warm, cozy feeling, Doesn't matter in summer or winter, whichever way, it just works. It always works. It smells good, it gives your room a cozy atmosphere, and it gives you warmth, and I don't know, it just works, all right? Like, it is not even a surprise. There is a reason why, for book lovers, there are a couple of things that are associated with, and there will be like teas, coffees, books, of course, in general, and candles. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but am I really though? Alright, and then last but not least would be spreadsheets. And this might sound a little bit weird, but let me explain what I mean by that. Alright, so currently I don't really have anything to show you, but because I've cleaned up a lot of things from my papers and I just have to make new ones because that's what I do. I kind of make some, then I kind of forget to mark something, and then I'm like, oh, well, it's ruined, have to make a new one. But I'm a big fan of spreadsheets, and they can include a lot of things. But if we're talking about books and book related things, like for example, how many pages you've read per day, just an example, what books you still have to read, what books you already read, following your book buying ban, following your TBR list, books to buy, series to continue. There are so many options, and I don't know, it's probably an illusion, but for me, that helps me feel more motivated, more accomplished, more productive, and also it kind of keeps me more motivated with reading itself. And I would suggest it to try this method out, and especially if you are one to struggle with reading slumps, because they have, like, spreadsheets like these have pulled me out of those. So it might not work for you. I'm not promising anything, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but this might help. So, if you're not someone who has used this sort of thing before, maybe you should try it. You never know unless you do. So that's that. All right, so these have been 8 things on my list of what every book reader should or could own. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, you can leave them in the comment section. I will read them all. And thank you for watching, of course. And obviously, I hope to see you rather sooner than later. Bye.